I started the company Jamie Mays Educational Consulting and Literacy Services LLC about a year ago. For the past 11 years, I've had the pleasure of being a teacher for high school students. My specific area of study has been English and ELA. One of the biggest challenges I've seen as a high school teacher is the struggle for literacy across all grade levels and here in our part of the state. Our students have a great need for positive support as well as intervention to help them realize their full potential, and that potential is reached especially when they're empowered through literacy. When I organized my company, I considered all the years I had spent teaching and the number of students I had to work with to improve their reading skills, the number of students I had worked with to develop my own structured lessons, and I also thought about the environment in which I worked, the necessity of supporting my coworkers, how many times we had parents that would come up during the last part of the school year when they thought their child was graduating and the student didn't have enough credits, or the student didn't qualify for certain programs, the student didn't pass state tests, and a parent didn't know. I also thought about the number of kids who came to talk to me about so many of the issues that they faced outside of the classroom that were not academic related, but that affected their academic performance. And I thought to myself, there has to be a way that we can provide more support to all constituents of education. And when I considered what really needed to be done, I had the vision of forming, firstly, an event called the Teacher Reboot Retreat. And the mission of the Teacher Reboot Retreat is to address the emotional health needs of teachers. We hear so much conversation about mental health support and the mental health needs of so many other professions, but we often forget that one of the most demanding professions out there is the job of being a teacher. Working with so many students a day, as well as managing our personal lives and managing our time, can be challenging when we have to make sure that we are producing the results that our state wants to see, and honestly producing the results in our students that we want to see. And so I thought the Teacher Reboot Retreat will be a great opportunity for educators to be empowered, to receive important information about mental health support and taking care of themselves, and for us to most importantly have a fantastic time. But in formulating this event, I realized that teachers are not the only stakeholders of the educational community. We also have two other very important sets of people. One of those people being the parents of our high school students. When I thought back to the number of times parents have been surprised at the end of the year, I said if there's something we can do now, we should do it. And I came up with the idea to create a conference called Ignited, Informed, and Involved in order to help our parents gain more information about how students can progress through high school successfully, how parents can be involved in this process, and how we as a community can support this initiative. In addition to that, we wanted to tap into all the things parents may not know, like what are special education rules and regulations? How do I understand my child's IEP? What do I need to know about my child's academics if they're an athlete? So the more information we provide to parents, the easier it is for them not to feel like they are isolated or uninvited to the high school educational community. And then I said, well, if we work with the parents and the teachers, there's no way we cannot fail to work with our students. We talk all the time about curriculum. They have exams all throughout the year, but there are bigger issues that our children face outside the classroom that we must talk about with them. And I decided to create also a workshop session called Back to School Basics. And this session is designed specifically to have a conversation with people of the community who work in various areas of employment, but can offer input about how our kids can deal with depression, eating disorders, bullying, anything that relates to them. We want them to bring that to us. And so when we take an involvement as a community in the educational process, everybody benefits, and our kids become empowered to create even stronger communities for us, but most importantly, to be able to think for themselves. And so I said, I have to put all three of these into a window together in order to make sure that we can connect the dots, I guess we say. And with this concept in mind, I formed the Education Roundup 360. And so the mission is for us to bring together everyone in this community, not just our teachers, not just our parents, not just our students, but even our members of the communities, to provide an experience that helps inform, educate, and empower everyone who is a part of education. I thought back to my experiences growing up in poverty. Single-parent home, housing projects, government assistance, no car, you name it, I experienced a lot of those things. And the biggest thing that happened in my life was becoming in touch with my ability and skill to write and speak. It was when I learned the power of writing and speaking that my life began to change. And so my mission now is also to share those things with everyone else who needs to be empowered. And I think that we all need a sense of motivation and empowerment. Therefore, the goal of the Jamie Mays company is always to provide resources, opportunities, events, and atmospheres where education is the focus, empowerment is the focus, and most importantly, we do so through literacy. So the Education Roundup will take place during the last week of July, which is going to be July the 23rd through the 27th. We will host the first workshop for students, the Back to School Basics, on Tuesday, July the 23rd from 4 to 6 p.m. We will host the second workshop on Thursday, July the 25th, Inform, Ignited, and Involved for parents of high school students. That will take place from 6 to 8 p.m. And the final session will be the Teacher Reboot Retreat, which will be held from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. on Saturday, July the 27th. What I'm most excited about is how the community has stepped up to play such a great role in this. We have wonderful donations that have come from Canes. We have Healthy Blue, we have Humana, a lot of great people who see the necessity of educational empowerment, who are not only stepping up to make donations, but are actually being involved in the presentations for this event. And so the goal is to connect everybody and to continue to build this event so that it's not a one-time experience. It's an annual event where everyone who sends a child through the high school system has all the resources they need. They feel more comfortable about coming to the school, and we actually involve people from the educational system. Here locally, we will have guidance counselors from around the city. We will have educators from around the city who will be coming into the parent and student workshops to offer their one-on-one help. And so we want to continue to build a positive viewpoint of education and the school system so that our students feel more comfortable coming in and telling us about their needs for help. Our parents feel more comfortable coming in to ask questions and knowing exactly what's going on with their students. And our teachers feel relaxed, knowledgeable, and prepared to help our students excel. So the Education 360 Roundup has a mission of reaching everyone across the city and, in a sense, leveling the educational grounds for everyone. So we no longer look at this situation as our school here or our school there, but as an educational community together.